And when the AI is there, we always check there first, don't we? Well, some people do. So first, of course, happy Pride. Some of you saw and congratulated me for just surviving Zurich Pride. As you see when you watch this video cast, yes, I am a bit red. It was quite sunny. So when someone said, "Did you catch a sunburn?" Maybe a tiny bit. So hello and welcome to this week's episode. We talk about the AI and why we now have a risk which we did not have before. And the risk is that suddenly certain people who use AI in a certain way think they can make the decision better, while at the same time they make it worse. We talk about the leadership echo chamber and the risk of artificial agreement. The question is, what is this all about? First, of course, using the AI is great. It's always a good option to use it for support. We are at the moment where people always pretend that they didn't use the AI for their work. You have meetings where people sit together. The leader in the room was asking, "Did you use AI for this piece of work?" And people said, "No, no, 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 not a tiny bit. It's all my brains." Here are the news. I would expect every single person of my team always using AI to at least challenge their views and to help them to get things done. Of course, I expect more than you typing in a one-line prompt, which is badly designed, and then copy and paste the AI slop that's coming out of that. However, when you pretend you haven't used AI, first, of course, it gives me the picture of you don't know what technology is. Second, you don't use what we have available. And third, you pretend to know it all, which no one does. On the other side, some people are heavily relying on AI, pretend they don't use it, and suddenly you wonder, why do decisions suddenly get worse and not better? When we talk about one aspect here, which is the risk of artificial agreement, it is the development of AI as it is available right now. And let's be straightforward here. We have AI and leaders are using it, and it's perfectly reasonable to do that. It's available 24/7. No matter how hard you try, no matter how often you think you're impossible to be replaced, AI is not there to replace you, it's there to help you. However, AI is always more available than you. When leaders at the middle of the night, in the middle of the night, have an idea and they want to have a challenge or check, the AI is there while you are asleep. And you cannot beat AI on availability. Let's just be real with that. And if you try, you will fail sooner or later. Of course, people first need to have proper training on it because some people already ask the AI in the way that it always agrees. And one main issue here is that quite often leaders today say, look, I have this point of view and I had a chat with an AI. I look at the prompts, they are all one-liners, don't follow any system. There was never any formal training, so the leadership person has no idea how to use it properly. And then they say, I think I am right because the AI told me something and I agree with the AI. No, you don't. You do not agree with the AI. The AI agrees with you. And that is a massive issue. The AI has always run risk, and the risk is psychophancy. You train the AI in a certain way, and the AI will very much quicker than you figure out what are the typical topics you like to talk about, the ways of approaching things you like, and the ways you do not like. And by the way, humans do that as well. Don't pretend you have never appealed to someone by talking it through in a certain way which appeals to them rather than actually saying what you really want to say. It is quite common that, for example, some people say, look, this is a topic you can't talk to our CEO to because they don't like this. And probably this is something you should talk about. It is typical that people filter what they say depending on the target audience. However, and here's the point, critical thinking and reasoning is not the AI's strength when you don't use it properly, when you don't use it to actually challenge you. Often when people say, well, the AI tells me it does reasoning, it does not. As Dr. Mark Cater, who I interviewed, Cambridge expert, just a couple of weeks ago, I interviewed Mark Cater, and Mark Cater said, and that's a very important point here, AI is not thinking, and an AI is not thinking. An AI does a mathematical approach, especially LLMs such as ChatGPT or Claude or Copilot, or any other system you use. They do a mathematical approach, stochastical forecasting, they do stochastics, nothing else than what is the most probable word to use next to serve your answer, to serve your question, to serve your task. That's what they do. So the critical thinking is not really critical thinking. They do not think. Thinking is extremely complex. The usual standard AI that you get for 20 quid, 20 bucks a month or less does not think. It has no critical or very little critical thinking, and especially it has no reasoning. And now the question often is, who do you surround yourself with? And often you suddenly move from yes people, people who surround you as a leader, only saying yes, 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 because they know when they say no, they might get replaced and you don't like that. You surround yourself with yes people, and now you surround yourself with yes algorithms. You train your AI consciously or subconsciously in a way that the AI agrees with you, and that actually makes things worse. The question is how to do things better. And I give you a very simple point here. As soon as you have a certain idea or you have a certain concept, write it down, and then you use the AI and say, look, where are the gaps in this concept? Act as a strict professor, act as an amazing researcher, act as a world-class scientist, and look at my concept where the gaps are and tell me the gaps, including the proof, including scientific sources, including approaches I'm missing, anything you see here which doesn't make sense or has massive gaps in there. And then you will receive proper results. And of course, all of that means your leaders must be professionally qualified on artificial intelligence. And this means no, not the 15-minute online class or the YouTube video you send around with some AI slop talking to you. It needs to be a proper qualification. Look, I give you very simple reasoning here. When I started the AI journey, and I'm with Microsoft New Horizons, I went from machine learning, automated learning, all of that, all the error ways we had before it was called AI. Before that, I was already in the game. And the qualifications I got is Wharton Business School, University of Pennsylvania, Vanderbilt University, heavily complex professional training. And sometimes I was swearing at my computer while I did these. However, at the end of them, I had more insights than I had before. If you never had professional training regarding AI, it is now about time to get it. And no, the 15-minute online class you're going to do during your lunch break is not going to make the cut, especially not when it's one of these classes you purchase for $49 somewhere. That is probably not worth much, but just a loud opinion of someone who's maybe reasonably good at doing an online sale after you Googled AI training. So you need to get proper qualification. The real bit of artificial intelligence is always done by science. When you look into AI from a non-scientific way, you will meet lots of opinions. You will meet lots of experts who became experts overnight. And when you say, how do you qualify as an expert? They have nothing to their name. Surprise, surprise. So you need to have scientific evidence that you actually know what you're doing. When you do it the way I just told you, you're not moving from yes men or yes people to yes algorithms. You're moving from not only yes people, but critical people to also a supportive algorithm and a challenging algorithm that AI actually does not only mean artificial intelligence, but also assisted intelligence. And from there, everything regarding your decisions actually gets better. You exit the leadership echo chamber and actually get great feedback to make your decisions better. And I wish you all the best implementing that in your organization. And when you now say, I think I have about 48 questions here, feel free to post them, all of them. When you now listen to me on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or let's say you watch this on YouTube, first, of course, leave a like here. Thank you very much for doing so. Subscribe to my channel or leave a comment here. I'm always happy to discuss with you. And of course, on top of that, when you listen to it on Apple Podcast, Spotify, feel free to leave a review, 5 stars. Thank you very much for doing so. Recommend this channel online, offline. We have tremendous growth at the moment. Recently, I told you we went top 100 in India, which is tremendously challenging. So this is constantly growing. Thank you very much for your support. I'm looking forward to seeing your support in the future as well. On top of that, we have leadership tips and we keep going. I told you, I promised you beginning of the year, one leadership tip per day minimum. We are way ahead of plan at the moment, so feel free to also look at the leadership tips, which of course, as the name says, are YouTube shorts only available on YouTube. So it pays off not only to subscribe to my channel, but put the little notification in there. You do not only have my voice talking, you also have external experts who talk with you, who are interview, and then you can see them as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing you from you there. It also pays off not only to subscribe to my channel, put the little bell in there so you get the tiny notification when anything new pops up so you know you're not going to miss anything. On top of that, of course, you can follow me on my podcast, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Feel free to subscribe there. And of course, when you now say, hey, we need someone who actually helps us with this, just happened last week, feel free to contact me. If you need someone, a trainer, speaker, coach, consultant, mentor, project or interim manager, fractional or more, just let me know. nb-networks.biz is my website. And when you'd like to drop me an email, nb@nb-networks.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you there. When you now say, do we have live sessions? Yes, we do. We had an amazing one last Friday. Next one's coming up soon. When you go to expert.nb-networks.com, feel free to join there, and then you will have an expert session with me. If you say we need one, but a private one, just drop me an email and we do a private one for your organization as well. They're all free of charge. I'm looking forward to seeing from you there. Expert.nb-networks.com. And no worries, you only receive one email every Wednesday morning. It's 100% content at free guarantee. And of course, you can also connect with me online. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, or maybe you follow me on Instagram, or leave a like on Facebook, or just subscribe to my YouTube channel, or do all of that, because then, of course, you will not miss anything. The most important bit, however, is always the last bit that I have to say. Apply, apply, apply what you heard in this podcast and videocast, because only when you apply what you heard, you will see the positive aspects that you obviously want to see in your organization. I wish you all the best doing so. Feel free to contact me. If you contact me on any way, I'm answering every single message within 24 hours or less, so I'm looking forward to hearing from you there. And at the end of this podcast, as well as at the end of this videocast, there's only one thing left for me to say. Thank you very much for your time.